Hello everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks very much for joining me. Today I'm doing the assembly tutorial for the 3D top hat. This project has been designed by Nicole Silhouette here on YouTube, and I shall link her YouTube channel in the description box below. The larger size top hat shown in this tutorial is available as a digital cutting file in Nicole's Etsy store. A smaller mini top hat is available as a die cutting set in Andy's store, and I shall link both of those in the description box below. As I mentioned, I'm making this from the digital cutting file. I have all my pieces cut out and I'll go through them with you now. So let's get started. Here are the pieces of our top hat. This piece here is called the tip. Then we have the brim, which is this piece here, and you can see that this is oval in shape with a 12-sided shape cut out of the centre. Next up we have the pieces that make up the crown, and there are 12 of these. And you can see that the folds for the glue tabs are mountain folds, except for the bottom one, which is a valley fold, and you'll fold that up. And you can see I've gone ahead and put double-sided tape on all of those glue tabs on all 12 pieces. I'm also going to give the pieces a little bit of curvature just by running them through my fingers, as you can see me doing here. And this is going to assist in making the shape of the crown of the top hat. So I'm just going to do that on all 12 of these pieces. Before I move on. Now it's time to join all of these 12 sides together, and first up I'm going to remove the backings off the adhesive on the glue tabs. And it does not matter in which order that you glue these pieces to each other in, they are all the same. So we're just going to take one piece and join it to the next piece, like so. You just also need to take care to ensure that it lines up perfectly at the top and also along this seam here where I'm showing, so that it lines up again nicely at the bottom. This will help in alleviating any gaps that may happen between the pieces, which can become noticeable when you glue on the tip of the hat and also the brim. So you'll go ahead and you'll join all of the pieces together in that way, ensuring that you are being as precise as you can. So I've only got half of the crown here that I'm putting together. I did already go ahead and put the other half of the crown together prior to the tutorial. And I'll join both halves of the crown together shortly. You'll also take care to make sure that you're following along that curvature. This helps give the crown of the hat some shape. Which then helps the end result look very realistic. So you can see I've got my second half of the crown here, and I'm just joining it to the first. And then I'm going to join the whole shape up together in exactly the same way, taking care to line up the glue tabs and be as precise as I can. So again, these glue tabs at the top fold down and the ones on the bottom fold up, like so. So now it's time to put our brim in place, and it goes over the top as I'm showing here, and it lines up with the sides of the crown. As I'm showing, it does not go like this. This is wrong. So we make sure everything lines up with the sides of the crown, and then it'll get glued in like so. And the best way to glue the brim onto the crown of the hat is to remove the backings off the adhesive. Again, you can use glue if you wish, and get one tab into place first. Press that down, making sure that the glue's got a good stick, and then go over to the exact opposite glue tab and take the backings off and press that into place. So we've got two anchor points here, and I'm looking to get another two on the opposite side, so sort of like a north, south, east, west situation, or 12, 3, 6 and 9 o'clock. And doing it this way ensures that this brim is attached to the crown very precisely and accurately, and it won't be wonky or look wrong, and you won't end up with gaps in between where you've joined your brim onto your crown. Then I'm going to work all the other glue tabs in exactly the same way. Just work my way around doing one and then moving over to the opposite side until all of the glue tabs are attached to the underneath side of the brim. And I'm always checking on the other side to make sure that there aren't any gaps and things are lining up against the sides of the crown. So that's our brim in place. And you can see that that's very neat. No holes or gaps. Now it's time to put the tip onto the top hat. And that goes in place. I like to do that exactly the same way as I attach the brim. I'm going to get a hold on one tab first, then go to the opposite end and get that one in place, making sure that it's getting a good stick from the underneath side, and then go around with my north, south, east, west, attaching glue tabs and then moving over to the opposite side and getting them in position. It's a very accurate way to get this sort of shape into place, and you'll see that I do that with a lot of 3D projects. And you can maneuver the piece from inside as well to make sure that the sides of the crown are lining up with that 12-sided shape that is the tip of the top hat. You can use glue, but I just find it easier to use double-sided tape. You can see I'm using my pokey tool to get in under to remove the backings off the double-sided tape. And I'm just going to go ahead with my burnishing tool here and make sure that all of those glue tabs have got a good stick to the underneath side of the top hat. And I'm just using an embossing tool here. It's just the first thing I had at hand that was round, just to round the edges of the brim of the hat to give it some curvature, because I want it to look very authentic. And that's our top hat finished. Just giving you a look there. In the digital cutting file and also the die cutting set, there are no decorative layers for the top hat. I did, however, go ahead and make my own for my top hat because of the way I wanted to decorate it. You can do this yourself too. You can either cut the pieces out again and trim them down, or you can cut the pieces out directly from designer series paper. It's entirely up to you. So I've gone ahead off camera and I've decorated my top hat here. You can see that I've put a corset look to the front of it. I used my crocodile to put in eyelets so that I had something to thread the ribbon through. And I've put a little bit of tulle on the back there and attached flowers to the back and lace. And that's the reason why I put some decorative panels on my hat, because I wanted to do this corset look. I've got a pearl spray here, and there are pearls around the top of the top hat and around the bottom. And I've decorated this in a very girly vintage way. This one's going to hang out in my craft room with me. I couldn't bear to part with it at this point in time. I also went ahead and decided I had to do a Easter bonnet one and attach ears to each side of the top hat. These ears I got from another digital cutting file that I had from somewhere else. There are no decorative panels on this one, it's just the white hat, and I've attached the 2 white ears and the flowers for decorations, and put Happy Easter onto the front. And I also love the way this turned out too. And then I had to make one that was a tuxedo version, so that I had a partner for the other one that I made earlier. And I've cut this all from black cardstock and then cut decorative panels from gloss black cardstock, giving it a very authentic top hat look. Nice and shiny. So you can see I've got lapels that I've cut, and the buttons are enamel dots, and the bow tie is just a bow that I had in my stash. And this looks very authentic. So that's my tutorial finished for today. I hope you've enjoyed watching and that you feel inspired to make one of these top hats. They're not that incredibly hard to make. And if you do make one, I'd love to see pictures. Don't forget to share them on Nicole's Facebook group. You can also share on Instagram and tag Nicole. Her Instagram handle is @NicolesPapercrafts. I also would love to see, you can tag me. My Instagram handle is @TFsPapercrafts. Don't forget to check the description box down below for the links that I've previously mentioned. And if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would really love that too. Thanks very much for watching today. Have a great day, and until next time, it's bye for now.